we live in a society where mediocrity is often rewarded. And he went on to say something about these men detest mediocrity. And I wanted to be a man that detests mediocrity. It got me in a lot of trouble in the SEAL teams and going forward in my life, because I started looking down on people for not going hard as fucking shit. And I started to create different things, but that's for a different day. But I just believed that, my whole mind changed.
That is a problem that a lot of people who work hard do have. You get angry at people who don't work hard to the point where you want to insult them. You want to smack them. And it's really because you're scared of seeing that in yourself.
Yeah, that's probably the truth. That's probably the truth. So I guess a lot of times in my life, I would see people, and it probably was a direct reflection of who I was. And I would get mad at them, but in reflection, it's probably just getting mad at myself. Yeah,
that's for me, 100%. When I see people that are half-assing things, I get terrified of seeing that in myself, and I get mad at them.
Right.
And it's not a good way to handle it.
No.
But it's natural, because you're just terrified of seeing that trait.
Right, and it cost me.
So you come back, you do the quarter mile,
right?
You walk back home. How do you regroup?
So what I did, I sat down there and I put Rocky in. I got my milkshake, put Rocky. I said, you know what? I was big time in Rocky and Platoon. Why Platoon? I love to see people who were getting beat down, and there's scenes. There's scenes that just drove me, and people in my Hell Weeks, I was in 3 of them, they'd always hear me singing these songs, humming these songs in torturous situations. When everybody's quitting this fucking code, I would be somewhere gone. Somewhere fucking gone, and somewhere fucking dark as shit. There's a scene in Platoon when Barnes shoots Elias, and they think Elias is dead, and the choppers are taking off, and Charlie Sheen's asking, Tom Berenger, where's Elias? Where's Elias? William Dafoe. Oh, I found him back there dead somewhere. And through the woods, the Viet Cong is chasing Elias through the woods, and they're shooting him in his fucking back. And all he wants to do is get to the fucking chopper. He's getting shot in his back, he's getting up, he's getting shot in his back, he's getting up. And you see this guy just fighting. I love the fucking guy who just fucking fights. And so I put these things in as reminders that you're gonna have to fucking suffer, man. This fucking .25, man, man, you're gonna have to fucking suffer to go from this fat, insecure motherfucker to one of the best guys on the planet Earth. This journey is gonna take something that is gonna be incomprehensible to most people. And these different visualizations, how I visualize them in my self-talk, it became so nasty and dirty that I almost liked the fact that I went .25. So it became from being defeated to like, man, all right, motherfucker, maybe tomorrow we can go .75. It just became this different mindset. I turned negatives into positives. So I would take it like, who would even think about doing this? So I would sit on my couch saying, who at 297, who can't fucking swim that great, who's scared of the fucking water, would have the fucking balls? Who had the balls to fucking man up, quit a job, and go and just put everything on himself? So it's how I started talking to myself and putting myself in a whole different category, and that would fuel me the next day, and I just kept using that as fuel. No one would do this shit. No one would do this shit. You're the baddest motherfucker around. You're the baddest motherfucker ever lived. And I just kept fueling me with the right kind of message that I needed to hear that I was never telling myself. And through time, it became reality to myself. I'm 43. I've done so much. You start to become civilized. The refrigerator gets full. You start making money, and I'm not getting cold anymore. I'm retired. At 40, people shouldn't be playing basketball or football or being in. You start to believe this shit, and it becomes in your fucking mind. Like, there's people who are retiring, at 40-something years old or 30-something years old. At 43, I'm still putting 100-mile weeks, still doing thousands of pull-ups, thousands of push-ups, because I'm not allowing myself to become civilized. The worst thing that can happen to a man is become civilized. You lose that fucking fight. You lose that, why the fuck am I doing this shit? I'm good. You ain't good, man. You ain't never fucking arrived. And that's just my mentality. You may have more, but you never fucking arrived. You want to be uncommon amongst uncommon people. Period.
Uncommon amongst uncommon people is one of the greatest ways to put it.
That's it. Like, if you're like, for me, what got me in trouble with the Navy SEALs is I wanted to be one so bad. So bad. I fought my ass off. And I saw them as uncommon people. Very uncommon. But once you become a Navy SEAL, you're all Navy SEALs, so guess what happens? You're fucking common again. I wanted to be uncommon amongst uncommon people. I wanted to be the guy, I don't care if you fucking like me, I don't care if you don't understand me, I didn't give a fuck. Once I went through this fucking journey, this path of life, you ain't got, there's a whole bunch of fucking guys that don't fucking like me. I don't give a fuck. I'm a warrior, period. There's a lot of guys that have been in a lot more combat than me. A warrior is not always that. A warrior is a motherfucker who says, hey, I'm here again today. I'm here again tomorrow. I'm gonna be here the next day. I'm 50 years old, I'm still fucking getting after it. It's a person that puts no fucking limit on what's possible. And that's what got me in trouble a lot. That's why I went to Ranger School as a SEAL. That's why I tried to go to Delta Force twice. You know, I've been through all these different training programs because I was looking for, in the military, what I saw is, in the training, these people get their ass handed to them. After they get out, a lot of them get civilized. I always wanted to go back into training. No matter where I was at, I wanted to go back to war. And the war was in that training program where you see guys who can quit, guys who are brutal, guys who are suffering, guys who are, so as a SEAL, you don't volunteer for Ranger School. I did. I put in 7 chits, got turned down, my 8th, got accepted. I went at 28, 29 years old. And they go, why did you go? Because I started becoming civilized. I started becoming complacent. I needed to get my fucking ass kicked again. And when you go as a SEAL going down to, you have no rank in Ranger School. You could be a major. You're just fucking Joe Brown. You're nobody. And you're not eating, you're not sleeping. So I always would I would immerse myself in shit like that. Even I would climb the ladder and I intentionally fall back down that motherfucker to say, all right, man, getting soft, dude. Getting soft. Kick your fucking ass again. And it's kind of the process.
Did you find resistance from that amongst other guys that didn't like that you were making them uncomfortable? Because that is something that there's a natural instinct that people have when someone's working harder than them to somehow or another diminish that person.
Well, I know that a lot of guys don't like me for a lot of reasons. And I realize that. I am a guy that doesn't care if you like me or not. And when you're an alpha male and you're against other alpha males, and we eat our own. Alpha males eat their own. And I love that shit. Let's fucking go, man. I want to eat. Hey, man, I'm all about that kind of mentality. But I would sometimes take it to another level. I wasn't part of a good old boy network. I didn't want to be part. I wanted to be David fucking Goggins. For too long in my life, and it got me in trouble. For too long in my life, I wanted to be accepted. Growing up, I lied. I fucking did what I could. If you fucking like UFC and I didn't, I love it. I love it, man. Let's go fucking watch it, man. Be my friend. Be my buddy. That fucking weak ass shit. I found out through this path of life, who is David Goggins? Who am I? So going through I did it alone. There was no fucking trophy on the fucking wall on the mantle. That trophy's in my fucking brain. No one helped me get there. No one paid my fucking bills. No one did shit for me. No one ran those fucking miles, lost that fucking weight, went through I suffered on my own and developed this man who said, it's who I am, man. A very competitive, ultra competitive dude that take it what you want, man.
I call that personal sovereignty.
Exactly.
And there's not a lot of people that have that.
That's me.
There's a lot of people that change who they are depending upon what people want from them.
And that's me.
Yeah, that's important, man. And most people struggle their whole life to find out who they are. Struggle their whole life to find out what defines them, what they actually enjoy and what they don't.
You start putting yourself in situations that suck, you'll find yourself.
Yeah.
You'll find it real quick.
That is the thing, right? And that's one of the things that I've gotten from paying attention to you is that you what you're preaching, what you're talking about is finding yourself through struggle.
That's it. It's the only way to find yourself. You don't find yourself, if you like bench pressing and you bench press all the fucking time, what are you finding out? If you like to swim, that's all you want to do is swim, what are you finding out? Put that, people always, people talk about triple down on your fucking strengths.
Right.
That's the fucking weakest shit in the world. No, triple down on your fucking weaknesses.
Yeah.
Find out something about yourself. You already know the good shit. You already know the happy shit.
Right.
That's why on my Facebook page, everybody goes, why don't you talk about good times? You know how to get through that shit, motherfucker. You don't need a fucking, you don't need no one to tell you how to get through. It's happy.
Right.
That's easy shit.
Right.
I'm going to tell you how you can help yourself get through the times that suck. Real life. This is real life. 90% of your life will suck. 10% will be fucking happy. You may be a lucky guy and have a lot of fucking money, have a great ass woman, all this shit. Trust me, one-on-one with that fucking guy, he's missing something. His life still sucks because he hasn't faced something that bothered him his whole fucking life. Something is still eating that motherfucker up.
Almost everybody.
Everybody. Eating you the fuck up. But maybe you found a good way, how I did growing up, on how to ignore that voice that's saying, you ain't facing some shit. Period, man. I'm not special. I just stopped listening. I listened to that voice. This is why I talk so fucking aggressive. People say, man, do you believe in God? You cuss so much. When I say fuck, it's letting you know what I'm thinking. If I try to make it all pretty and shit, that's not what my life was. It was a violent struggle daily to get where I'm at today. I'm not gonna water it down. I'm not gonna water it down. This shit wasn't fun. It ain't fun today, but I'm happy.
Don't you think that your happiness is probably elevated by the amount of pain that you've gone through?
100%.
So the amount of suffering that you understand, the amount of pain that you've gone through makes you appreciate the happiness and the beautiful moments with much more intensity.
That's what weak people miss about my story. Weak people hear this soft kid, oh my God, he must be miserable. Oh my God, what the hell's wrong with him? You're missing the fucking story. You're not listening to the story, man. Look what I overcame. If that doesn't put some badge of honor tattooed in your fucking brain for the rest of your life, that you can die today talking to Joe Rogan, you're missing the story, man. Am I happy? What the fuck do you think? Don't misunderstand the passion in which I speak for not being intensely happy. Happiest person in the world. But I'm not done. So I'm not going to speak to you like, oh man, everything is great. No, I have a lot more shit to do. A lot more shit to do.
Well, this is in the same use of the word that you used, the warrior's mentality, the warrior's life.
Right.
This is the way that you can keep balanced and sane,
right,
and keep a good grip on who you are.
Period. And like there's a quote that was said, I don't know who said it, but it was a great quote. This guy said, going into combat, going into war, out of the 100 men that go into war, 10 shouldn't even fucking be there. 80 of them are just targets. 10 do most of, or 9 do most of the fighting. 1 is a warrior. And it's a true quote to life. I saw it going through training. I saw it everywhere I went. There's so many people who just show up to life that shouldn't even fucking be around. And there's few people who do all the work. I wanted to be part of that 9, and I'm working towards being that 1.